Hello everyone. So I just did my rantings and ravings and I was going to do this video and I didn't because my ranting and ravings was a little bit long. Still have my coffee. Still have my sinus drip. I have like this, I could blow my nose, but nothing really comes out. It's just like this slow drip. It's probably brain fluid at this point in my life, you know. That's why I don't remember things. I'm always like, huh? So, huh? All right. We're going to get into this one. The following content may contain suicide or self-harm. Before we get started, I'm going to click the thumbs up. If you could do the same for me, that helps out tremendously. You can subscribe to the channel as I've done to his. You can donate to my channel through the thanks button, which he does not have. Interesting. There's me. That's me right there. I didn't add a comment yet. But you can donate to the thanks button. If you do donate, you request a video, your name's sponsoring that video. You can still request videos without the, for some reason my arm seems really hairy right now. That's a me issue. You can still request videos, just do it in the comment section. If you haven't donated to the channel, it'll just take a little bit longer to get to. All of them, I tried my best to get to them as soon as I can. So you ready? We're going to go ahead and click on this. I understand and wish to proceed. And let's do it. Let me mute the mic.
In this video, we'll explore 5 more real stories of people who died in surprising and unusual ways. These are cases where simple actions led to unexpected and tragic outcomes. While the stories might seem strange, they remind us how unpredictable life can be and the importance of being careful, even in everyday situations. It was January 18, 1977, in Rome, Italy. Luciano Cecconi, a 28-year-old footballer known as the Blonde Angel, was in high spirits. Earlier that day, his doctor had confirmed that his recovery from a knee injury was progressing well, and he would soon return to the field with Lazio. Cecconi was a key player in Lazio's 1974 Scudetto win.
Can I just say the advancements in good job, Kris. You didn't expand it. I didn't expand it because of the suicide talk. I just forgot all about it. My fault. The advancements in modern technology for sports injuries. Back in the, when I was growing up watching American football, NFL, guy could tear his ACL in his knee. That could be like an 18-month recovery. Now, it seems like 8 months, 6 to 8 months. That's huge. That's huge. And back in the, and I don't know so much today, I'm sure it's mentally tasking, but back in the days, the recovery process, the running on it, people said it just didn't feel right and it never felt right. But now people are like, no, it's good. So sports medicine is just, it's amazed. It's advanced in amazing ways.
Admired not only for his skill, but also for his work ethic and leadership. But that evening, his life would end in a tragic and senseless way. Luciano was born on December 1, 1948, in Nerviano, near Milan. His family wasn't wealthy, and Luciano had to work various jobs to help out. Despite the challenges, his passion for football was clear from a young age. By 1967, he had signed his first professional contract with Pro Patria, a Serie C club. He later moved to Foggia in Serie B, where he played a crucial role in the team's promotion to Serie A. In 1970,
he was 19 when he signed his contract. That's pretty impressive.
Luciano joined Lazio, a club about to experience one of its most successful periods. Under manager Tommaso Maestrelli, Lazio became known for its attacking style and strong team spirit. Luciano fit in perfectly, known as the Wise One for his serious demeanor, especially around strangers. He was particularly close to teammate Gigi Martini, with whom he shared a deep bond. The 1973 to 1974
That's a great name, Gigi Martini. That's a great name.
Season was a turning point for Lazio. After a tough start, the team found its rhythm and climbed the Serie A table. Luciano was instrumental in this success, his partnership with Martini on the left side of the field proving nearly unbeatable. Together, they helped Lazio win their first Scudetto, a historic achievement for the club. However, the years that followed were difficult for Lazio. The team's performance declined, and in 1975, Maestrelli was diagnosed with cancer, deeply affecting the players, especially Luciano. Despite these challenges, Luciano remained a key player, known for his determination and leadership. On that January day in 1977, Luciano was out with friends Renzo Rossi and Pietro Ghedin when they decided to stop by a jewelry store owned by Bruno Tabocchini. Luciano didn't know Tabocchini well. He was a friend of Pietro Fraticcioli, who had invited Luciano and Ghedin to join him. As they entered the shop, something terrible happened. According to the official account, Luciano, known for his seriousness, decided to play a prank by pretending to rob the store, saying, "Hands up, this is a robbery," while keeping his hand in his pocket as if he had a gun. However, this version of events has been questioned by many who knew Luciano. Those close to Luciano, including his son Stefano and his best friend Gigi Martini, have consistently disputed the idea that Luciano would play such a joke, especially on someone he barely knew and in front of children. Luciano was known as the wise one for a reason. He was not a prankster, especially in situations involving people he didn't know well. Moreover, none of the people in the store, including Tabocchini's wife and 9-year-old son, reported hearing Luciano make such a statement. It seems more likely that Tabocchini, already on edge after previous robbery attempts, panicked when he saw two strangers enter his shop. A year earlier, he had shot a robber during a burglary attempt and later fired shots at a man on a scooter, fearing another attack. By the time Luciano and his friends entered the shop, Tabocchini was understandably uneasy. He may have misinterpreted Luciano's actions as a threat and reached for his gun. Ghedin, realizing what was happening, quickly raised his hands to show he was unarmed, but it was too late. Tabocchini fired, hitting Luciano. Luciano was rushed to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. The news of his death shocked Italy, especially Lazio fans who idolized the blonde angel. For his teammates, the loss was devastating. Luciano had been a central figure in their success, both as a player and as a friend. Felice Pollici, the team's goalkeeper, was the one who had to identify Luciano's body, a moment that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The investigation that followed was controversial. Tabocchini claimed self-defense, stating that Luciano had indeed said the infamous phrase and kept his hands in his pockets, as if he had a weapon. The court accepted this version of events and acquitted Tabocchini. However, many, including Luciano's family and friends, have never believed this account. The idea that Luciano, known for his wisdom and seriousness, would joke about something as serious as a robbery seems out of character. Moreover, there was no evidence that Luciano ever made...
Stop. The only thing I can think of is he knew that that place had been robbed before. So maybe jokingly, he walked in and was like, "Hey, this is a robbery," ha ha ha. If you know that that place has been robbed, it's a tasteless joke, sure, but it's a joke. But if you know that that guy has shot people, then that's just stupid. But I don't believe a guy who's not known as a joker, who, if he's not one of those people who jokes around with his friends, is going to suddenly decide, "Hey, this guy I don't know, I'm going to joke around with him." So I don't know if I necessarily buy that. I think that the guy was on edge, maybe. Someone said, I think they had to have known. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like this guy would be the one to say that. It also seems like the store owner was on edge enough that he was looking for any reason. He was wired. And he's been robbed before, so I can't say he's, that's bad of him. I just think that it's not adding up. Something doesn't feel like this is a guy who's going to do that. Was he recognizable in terms of, who he was? I don't know.
Such a statement, and no one in the shop heard him say it. Luciano's death left a void in the hearts of all who knew him, especially his wife and 2-year-old son. To this day, his memory lives on among Lazio supporters. At every match, a massive flag with his face is waved in the Curva Nord, a reminder of the blonde angel who gave everything for his team.
Yeah, people say he didn't say it. You got a store owner who's been robbed before. Something triggered, that was a bad choice of words. Something made the store owner pull his gun and shoot. Maybe it was said, but it wasn't said by, I can't even remember the footballer's name now. Yeah, that one's just tragic. That's not silly because I don't think he did it. That's just tragic. And I can't necessarily get mad at the store owner because the store owner has the right to protect his stuff, and he's been in a situation where he's been robbed before. That one's just tricky. But knowing only the little bit that I know, I don't think he said it. But I wasn't there. And I'm not accusing the store owner of, being a murderer because maybe he did hear it. And he's got 2 people in here he doesn't know.
It was a humid evening on July 27th, 2023, in Hong Kong's upscale mid-levels district. Remy Lucidi, a 30-year-old French daredevil known online as Remy Enigma, was preparing for another high-risk stunt. Lucidi had gained a following on social media by posting breathtaking yet dangerous photos from the tops of the world's tallest buildings. His latest challenge was to take place at the Tregunta Tower, a 721-foot residential skyscraper with panoramic city views. However, this time, Lucidi would not leave the building alive. Lucidi arrived at the Tregunta Tower around 6 p.m. and managed to slip.
Pictures like that make my feet tingle. It's so uncomfortable. I don't understand how somebody could not feel fear being up there. Like the taking a picture and all that, like, oh, look what I've accomplished. No. You would see me, if I was up there with him, you'd see me in the background doing this. And shit would be tumbling out of my pants because I would be dead.
Past security by claiming he was visiting a friend on the 40th floor. Unaware of Lucidi's true intentions, the security guard allowed him inside. Once in, Lucidi headed straight to the higher floors. CCTV footage later showed him exiting the elevator on the 49th floor and heading for the staircase that led to the top of the tower. Along the way, he forced open a door providing access to the rooftop. Upon reaching the rooftop, Lucidi set up his camera to document what he likely believed would be another successful stunt. He had previously scaled some of the world's tallest structures, always capturing the dizzying heights in a single frame, but this time, something went terribly wrong. At some point during the stunt, Lucidi found himself trapped outside the building, 68 stories above the ground. Unable to find a way back inside, he frantically knocked on a penthouse window, hoping someone would help him. A maid inside saw Lucidi and immediately called the police. Unfortunately, before they could arrive, Lucidi lost his footing and fell to his death. His body was discovered on a patio below, alongside his sports camera, which police later retrieved. The camera contained videos of his previous stunts, showing his life as an extreme sports enthusiast who lived on the edge, both literally and figuratively. There was no self-harm note, and police quickly ruled out foul play. The investigation pointed to a tragic accident, one that occurred while Lucidi was trying to capture yet another thrilling moment for his social media followers. Lucidi had built a reputation for capturing stunning images from some of the world's most dangerous vantage points. His photos, from skyscrapers in Dubai to towers near Chernobyl, drew both admiration and concern from his followers. In March 2023, he posted a photo of himself dangling from the top of a tower near Chernobyl with the caption, "My comfort zone." His followers were used to seeing him in such dangerous situations, but this time, the risk proved fatal. His last post, made just days before his death, showed a nighttime view of Hong Kong from above, tagged at Times Square in the Causeway Bay shopping district. Despite the dangers of his stunts, Lucidi seemed to be in good condition before the fatal incident. He had checked into a hostel in Hong Kong on July 17th, just 10 days before his death. The hostel owner, Gurjit Kaur, remembered Lucidi as a friendly and humble guest who kept to himself but seemed happy. He was healthy and fit and happy-faced, Kaur said in an interview. "I feel very sad." Little did she know that Lucidi's next adventure would be his last. In the days following his death, Lucidi's fans and fellow urban explorers expressed their grief on social media. Many praised him for his fearless pursuit of adventure, while others pointed out the risks he took. "R.I.P. brother. Sad news no one ever wants to hear about a fellow explorer," one user wrote on Instagram. Another commented, "Bro went out doing what he loved. He lived his life fully. Not many can say that." Lucidi's death shocked the tight-knit community of urban explorers, those who, like him, sought out the highest and most dangerous places to document their experiences. His passing also reignited debates over the safety and ethics of such pursuits. Although Lucidi often emphasized safety in his posts, the very nature of his activities meant that danger was always present.
Props to him for doing that stuff and not and being fearless when it comes to it, because I know I certainly couldn't. I don't even like getting on a ladder. So, but I respect the people who do it. It's highly illegal. But to die that way, I don't understand. You die doing what you love, okay. But I don't know many bus drivers, whether it's a city bus or a school bus picking up kids. They love that job so much, they died running their vehicle into a train. I don't know anyone who's just like, yeah, well, he died doing what he loved. Yeah, well, I'm sure he would have preferred to have lived to be 80, 90, died peacefully in his bed. My grandma on my dad's side died in her late 70s, I think. In her sleep. I'm pretty sure that's a wonderful way to go. Falling from a building? I mean, if that's your goal in life, congratulations, you achieved it. Me? No. 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 No, no.
It was June 20th, 2023, in Washington, D.C., when 15-year-old...
Just so we're clear, that's not Washington, D.C. That's Pittsburgh. And right there is the remnants of where Fort Duquesne was, the French fort that the British were trying to take over and kick the French out. It's a monument for it. My nephew's been there, actually, taking some pictures for me. But that right there is where a young George Washington was supposed to go and tell them to leave. He never made it there. Him and the Half King ended up butchering some French. Was it at Jumerville Glen? Anyways, that was the start of the French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War. That was the fort that they were going to go for. Any history fans out there? I'm sure that wasn't 100%. The Jumonville Glen, I think, was where the assault took place. Washington never actually made it there. I think later in life No. I don't think he ever made it there, actually. But anyways, so this is in D.C.
J. Thirunarayanapuram should have been at home working on his art project. Instead, he was atop a Red Line metro train, chasing a thrill that would end his life. Jay, a talented and adventurous high school sophomore, was subway surfing, a dangerous trend promoted through social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. As commuters passed through the Rhode Island Avenue metro station, Jay recorded himself, hoping to capture the attention of an online audience. Tragically, he lost his balance and fell beneath the speeding train, dying just days after his 15th birthday.
Oh, days?
Jay had a bright future ahead of him.
Days? It wasn't immediate? Oh, kill me instantly, please. Oh, that sucks.
His parents, Desikan Thirunarayanapuram and Vaishali Honawar, adopted him from an orphanage in India when he was 6 years old. They had always known him to be brave and curious, but recently his behavior had become increasingly risky. He became interested in the online world of urban exploration and subway surfing, a dangerous influence his parents tried to prevent. They restricted his internet access at night and put him in therapy, but the lure of social media proved too powerful. Jay's Instagram was filled with photos and videos of his daring stunts, riding on trains, climbing towers, and exploring abandoned buildings. He had engaged with a community of urban explorers online, where risky behavior was normalized and celebrated. On June 20th, Jay left home without telling his parents where he was going. He headed to the Brooklyn station, climbed onto the roof of a Red Line train, and began subway surfing. He had done it before and shared these stunts on social media to gain likes and comments, but this time, the adventure turned fatal. As the train approached the Rhode Island Avenue station, Jay lost his footing and fell under the wheels. Stunts on social media to gain likes and comments.
I went back because somehow I hit the mouse. And that, for people who don't know, that image, this picture, Beijing. Yeah, people don't know that. Pretty sure that's accurate. It's not.
But this time, the adventure turned fatal. As the train approached the Rhode Island Avenue station, Jay lost his footing and fell under the wheels of the train. The video he was recording captured his final moments. Jay's parents received the devastating news from Metro Transit Police that same day. Their son had died while subway surfing, a trend they had repeatedly warned him about. Jay was more than just their son. He was a young artist, an animal lover, and a bright student at Albert Einstein High School. His death left them with a heartache that could never be healed. In the days following Jay's death, his parents were overwhelmed with grief and disbelief. They couldn't understand how social media had such a strong hold on their son, leading him to take such extreme risks. Vaishali Honawar expressed her disbelief, saying, "He was so overconfident.
You're a teenager. When you're a teenager, you think you're indestructible. You can take on the world." I thought that way. Like everyone does. You're not thinking about death. Something like that, you're thinking, oh, I fall off, I'll get hurt, I might break a limb. You're not thinking about death at all. Because you don't have the appreciation of life and death until you're older. Yeah.
Didn't think that he was just throwing it all away for this crazy adventure that he should have never been on. Jay's parents began speaking out, urging social media companies to take responsibility for the harmful content being promoted through their platforms. They pointed out how algorithms were designed to keep users, especially teenagers, engaged by pushing increasingly extreme content. Jay had become addicted to this cycle, chasing likes and validation from an online community that encouraged dangerous behavior. Congressman Jamie Raskin, who represented the family's district in Maryland, took notice of Jay's case. He reached out to social media companies, demanding they do more to remove and restrict content promoting dangerous activities like subway surfing. Meta, the parent company of Instagram, acknowledged the issue, but admitted that it was difficult to consistently enforce their policies. TikTok also claimed that it would remove dangerous content as soon as it became aware of it, but in Jay's case, the damage had already been done. Jay's story is not unique. Subway surfing and urban exploration have become increasingly popular among teenagers, driven by the desire for social media fame. The trend of urban exploring, or #Urbex, has reached dangerous new heights with the rise of platforms like Instagram and TikTok.
And just to be clear, I'm guilty of the urbex stuff because I watch it. The urban exploring and abandoned homes or hospitals and stuff like I love that stuff. So I am to blame for some of these things. But subway riding, absolutely not. Going into an abandoned building, the worst thing that I think, a homeless person trying to kill you, yeah, that's terrible. But asbestos, which isn't good. Falling through the floor isn't good. I myself would have loved to do it, but I also know that I would die, so I don't. But no, I'm a connoisseur of that stuff. But I also understand those people are putting themselves at risk. If that stuff wasn't online, I wouldn't watch it. But I'm guilty of encouraging that stuff because I do watch it. We're watching it now.
Life was cut short because of this dangerous trend. His parents continue to fight for change, hoping their advocacy will prevent other families from experiencing the same tragedy. As the debate over social media's role in promoting dangerous behavior continues, one thing is clear: more must be done to protect young people from the darker side of the internet. It was a cold night in April 2014 in St. Petersburg, Russia. The city was quiet, with most people staying indoors. But for 17-year-old Xenia Ignatieva, the night had a special appeal. Xenia was an amateur photographer who loved capturing the world through her camera. Over time, her passion for photography grew, leading her to take more daring and dramatic shots. That night, Xenia planned to photograph a railway bridge in the Krasnogvardaysky district. The old, towering bridge seemed like the perfect spot for her next picture. She imagined the train tracks fading into the darkness, creating a striking image. Xenia had recently bought a new camera with money from a summer job, eager to use it for this very moment. But what she didn't realize was that this decision would cost her life. Xenia was used to heights. Like many thrill-seekers her age, she was part of a trend where young people climbed tall structures, rooftops, cranes, bridges, to take photos. The danger didn't scare her. It only made the experience more exciting. Her friend, Oksana Zhankova, also 17, joined her that night. While Oksana didn't share Xenia's love for risky adventures, she supported her friend. As Xenia started climbing the bridge, Oksana stayed at the bottom, watching with a mix of admiration and fear. When Xenia reached the top, she was thrilled. She carefully positioned herself, trying to capture the perfect shot that would show not just the view, but also the thrill of being so high up. But as she moved to take the selfie, something went wrong. Whether it was the wind, a misstep, or the danger of her position, Xenia lost her balance. She realized she was falling and instinctively reached out to grab something to stop her fall. Her hand caught a cable, but it only made things worse. The cable was live, carrying 1,500 volts of electricity. As soon as Xenia touched it, the electricity surged through her body. The shock was immediate and severe, causing her muscles to seize and her grip to loosen. She fell 30 feet to the concrete below. The impact was fatal, but the electric shock may have already caused severe damage before she hit the ground. Oksana, still at the bottom of the bridge, witnessed the entire incident. Seeing her friend fall left her in shock. She ran to Xenia's side, but it was too late. When emergency services arrived, alerted by a call about kids on the bridge, they found Oksana frozen in grief. The police restricted the area, but there was nothing they could do. Xenia was gone. The young photographer who had climbed the bridge to capture the perfect shot had paid the ultimate price. As the investigation unfolded, the tragic events of the night became clear. Xenia's grandmother, Olga, was devastated. She described Xenia as a lively and passionate young woman who was determined to take the most dramatic photos. According to Olga, Xenia had chosen the bridge that night for its dramatic potential, hoping to combine the railway, the height, and the night sky into one perfect picture. But it ended in tragedy. The police noted that Xenia might have been alive for a few moments after hitting the ground, but the electric shock likely caused her death. It was a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly things can go wrong when chasing a thrill. Xenia's death made headlines across Russia and beyond. Her story became an example of the dangers of taking risky photos in dangerous locations. Experts like psychologist Martin Voigt pointed out that young people often take increasingly dangerous risks to capture the perfect shot. For Xenia's family and friends, these explanations offered little comfort. A bright young life had been cut short in a matter of seconds. Xenia's passion for photography, once a source of joy, had led to a tragic end.
Five most disturbing death of tourists killed by cartels. Hold on. Let me go back to the last one, sorry. Okay. Wow. Wow. She was going to fall 30 feet, so 3 stories. You can still die. But, instinctively, you're going to grab for anything. And of all the things, though, like that wire, it's sad because she's 17. Yeah. It's too bad. Rest in peace to those people. It is what it is. The first one, though, the football guy, I don't think that. I question that one. But it's not about me. So we're going to end this here. Hope you learned something. Don't do any of this. And until next time, have a good day. Have a good night.